Hello, everyone. How are you all tonight? Or this morning, I believe. Morning, Lottie. Good morning, Michelle. Beetle, hello. Nice to see you again. Angela and Liz Newton, Noli, Drew, Jane. Look, everybody's here. Valerie, welcome along to another fantastic lesson here tonight at LearnBridge Online. I'm sure Jack has got something fantastic in store for us. I think it's a review session, which will be great. So, if anybody is new tonight, please feel free to introduce yourself down in the chat window in the bottom right hand corner. Just let us know your name and where you're from. This is a really warm and welcoming group of people, and all of your questions are welcome. We've also got a very supportive and encouraging teacher with Jack, so you have nothing to fear. If you do have questions, go ahead and ask them in that chat window. It's really useful not only for the people who are watching the live stream, but for the people who are watching the replay as well. So technical difficulties. If you have anything that doesn't go well for you tonight on the technical side, there's a couple of things you can try. So the first thing is just give it a few moments, see if it irons itself out. If that fails, you can refresh your browser tab. Failing that, go back to your original email invitation after you've closed out of the browser tab and reopen from the link. Now, if that fails, there is a LearnBridge online support logo up in the top right hand corner of your screens where you can come through to me in the background. So feel free to click on that link if you can't resolve the technical issues, and I will try my best to help you out. But if you can keep any technical issues just in that LearnBridge Online support logo coming through to me rather than the main chat, that just means that everybody can focus on the lesson. So what we'll do is we will go ahead and start the recording, which just takes a few moments. Good morning, Jack. Hi, Joe. Good morning, Tim. Right. It's just about there. I can see Christine G is typing, so hello to you as well. Okay. Welcome along, everybody, to another fantastic lesson here at LearnBridge Online. A big welcome to all of those people who are here on the live stream and also to the people who are joining us through the replay. If you can come along next week and join us at the live session, we'd love to see you here. It's great having people join us for the live stream and interact, and all of your involvement and participation is what makes LearnBridge Online such a fantastic community. So what we will do now is we will welcome Jack to the stage. Everybody give a warm welcome for Jack, please. See if I get some confetti going for him.
Yes, balloons. Morning.
Welcome, welcome.
Yeah, all's good. It's very cold in England, Caroline, but
oh, is it?
You know, but sunny, which is good. And today we're having one of those refreshers, which we haven't had yet for the beginners. So every 5 or 6 weeks, we take a step back and we consolidate what we've learned. So they're really good, and it's question and answer. So very good for learning, very interactive.
Fantastic. All right. Well, I will leave you to it, and I will see you at the end. But have a great lesson, everybody.
We'll see you at the end, Caroline. Yes. Bye for now.
Bye.
And a warm welcome. Hopefully it's a warm welcome where you are. If you're watching in replay as well, I know many of you do. I think we're good to go. Putting it all together. Yes, it's a review of the last 5 or 6 weeks, which you'll find very useful because the other students have in the other classes. So let's get cracking straight away with your opening bit here. What would you open with this 13 points? You're the dealer. Thank you, Valerie and Rosalind, for your applause. Morning, Tim. Morning, Joe. Liz Newton, who's in Yorkshire. My native Yorkshire. Where are you, Liz, in Yorkshire? Of course, we must open the bidding with 12 points. We all know that. I do say hello if you're here live for the first time. It's always nice to say hello to newcomers. Yes, So the first thing I do, if I've got 12 to 14 points, well, actually, the first thing I do with any point count of 12 or more is just say to myself, am I balanced or unbalanced? If it's 12 to 14 balanced, I've got a relatively easy job to open one no trump. This is the one sometimes people forget, so I'm impressed you've all got the right answer. Well, nearly all. We don't like to name and shame. But it's the one that improvers and beginners sometimes forget. 5, 3, 3, 2 is a balanced hand. And then we're off to the bar. Of course, we don't bid again because we've said our hand. It's up to partner to deal with it. Burley and Wharfield, it's a beautiful part of the world. Good, that's a good start. I've opened one heart, 12 plus points, 4 plus cards. It's a very open bid. I might have up to 20 or 22. What's your best bid there? As my partner, known as responder. Okay, you got, what's your best bid there after my one heart opener? So this is bringing into play last week's lesson. We're bringing into play fit. Have we got 8 cards between the partnership or more? And we're bringing into play 25 points for game. So if we can tick both of those boxes, there's an animated caption for you, a couple of ticks, then we're away at the races. So we definitely must support the hearts. I don't want to know about your clubs. I want to know about your 4 card support straight away. So well done for not bidding 2 clubs. And then we decide what number of hearts we bid. Do we bid 2 hearts, 3 hearts, or have we got enough for game? Should we find out? Well done. Most of the chat box again. Michelle, Angela, Liz, Valerie, Rosalind, Joe, Tim and Drew all bidding 4 hearts there. Might feel as though you're being a bit brave, you know, when you first start playing bridge, jumping all the way to 4 hearts. You know, that's 10 tricks, isn't it? But it is the right thing to do. Most of the time you'll make 4 hearts. You know, it depends how you play the hand as declarer. Depends what they lead. Depends, you know, on how the cards are laid out. Good. I've opened one no trump. 12 to 14, balance. What's your best bid there with 13? Again, as responder. Good to get into the habit of who's who. North is opener. South is now called responder, because they're responding to the opening bid. East and West, we'll talk about them later at a later date, what they're known as. They have specific rules, if you like, that we'll come on to later in a few weeks' time. Right, well, we definitely want to be in no trumps because we're a balanced hand. When 2 balanced hands are together, we play in no trumps, nearly always. Have we got enough for game? Well, the chat box, they seem to think we have, the live chat box. They're all bidding 3 no trumps and they're all right. Good. You'll find no trump contracts more difficult to play, by the way. Certainly they get easier as you get more experienced, but they are hard to play when you first start. But we'll be looking at plenty of strategies in no trump contracts over the coming weeks and months. Good. Of course, I won't bid again. Okay, let's have an opening lead problem. Slightly different. We have discussed this. The opponents have bid efficiently to 4 spades. You've got to find a lead from that hand as West. What's your best lead there? Just waiting for the answers to come in. I'll give you a clue for those watching in replay. Well, I'm the live lot as well. It's known as Jack's favourite lead online and in the north of England. Jack's favourite lead to a trump contract is what? It'd be different in no trumps. We'd lead a club in no trumps. But against a trump contract, there is a favourite lead. You can change your answer if you want. Not sure if Michelle's changed her answer or not, but she's just come in with one. Valerie, a few of you have picked up on my clue. Yeah. So should we have a look at the answer? Ah, there's me in my youth, look. That was taken quite a long time ago. Yes, we lead the ace of diamonds there. Only when you got the king, though. Known as Jack's favourite lead. There we go. Not against no trumps, though. No trumps, you would lead a low club. But against a trump contract, ace to ace king is a good strategy. Gives you a free look at the dummy, and you can decide what to do next. Oh, thank you, Beetle. Let's go and play hand one. Play 3 hands today, I think. Yes. East is the dealer, that's a pass. South has got 12 points. What does South bid with their 12 points? Must bid, of course. With 12 points, we need to open the bidding. Angela, Rosalind, they're all bidding 1 heart. I think you're getting into a good habit of that, actually, not bidding a club. It's length before strength, yeah. Very good habit to get into. Would West bid 1 spade now, do you think, with their 10 points? I may go on a run this afternoon. It's pretty cold, though, but I think it might do me some good. Would you bid 1 spade? Remember, once the bidding's been opened positively, with a heart or whatever, a club, a diamond, you only need 6 or more points for the other 3 players. So I think they can bid a spade here, and should, yeah. Decent suit. 1 spade. You only need 6. Generally in bridge, you don't bid with 0 to 5. Very rarely. There are some exceptions. And North, 13 points. What's their best bid? As responder. Well, they've got 4 card support for hearts. They must support straight away. That's a golden rule. And then you just decide what level of heart support. Well, North has got 13 points. They know South has got at least 12 because they open the bidding. 12 and 13 is 25. We jump to 4 hearts. Don't worry if you put the wrong answer into the chat box. No, that's actually a good thing. It's a really good way of learning, putting in your answer. Or for those watching in replay, thinking it at home, pressing the pause button, and then waiting for me to give the right answer is a very good way of watching it in replay. And that's the end of the auction. That's the objective of bridge. We've bid up to game. Well done. And of course, South plays 4 hearts because they bid hearts first. South is declarer. North is the dummy, but first we need the opening lead from West, the person to the left of declarer. And remember, the opening lead is blind, just to remind you. At this stage, all 4 players have their cards hidden. East and West cards stay hidden and declarers throughout the hand. But what's the best lead there from West? The hand of the 3 of hearts. If it was no trumps, they'd lead a low spade. But this is against a trump contract, something we've learned just the other day. It's the ace. Yep. Ace promising the king. I wouldn't lead out an ace unless I had the king as well. Well, unless it was a singleton ace, that's still still a good lead, a singleton ace. But no, ace promising the king is a good one. Right. Well, thank you, partner, for the dummy, I've said. And in a robotic way back, they've said, good luck, partner. It's time to play. I'm really just thinking about whether to draw trumps or not here. That's always the main question. We might as well continue with the king. Everyone following? What does West do next, having cashed the ace, king of spades, which Which card do they play, do you think? 3, 6, 9, 11 to choose from. Which card or suit do they switch to? Well, I think you've heard me say a few times now, you switch generally, most of the time, switch to dummy's weaker suit. Yeah, so I wouldn't switch to a diamond here. And no point playing a spade, by the way. One or two of you wanted to play a spade. No, that would be playing to the void, which would help declare it. So if you were to play a spade by mistake, we just trump it. Yeah. So I think I would avoid playing to the void. And that's good. It rhymes. Avoid playing to the void. Right, so generally switch to dummy's weaker suits, which is clubs. Third player play high. Force out a high card. The ace. All's good so far. Now what should we do you think? Is it right to draw trumps here? Or not? What would you do? Morning, Sandy. Morning, Assumpta. Joe. Rosalind's drawing trumps. What are the others doing? Has to be a really good reason not to draw trumps. I don't see one. So I'm making a note of the trumps we've got between us. We've got 9 between me and dummy. So 13 minus 9. The opponents have 4. I'm hoping on a good day they'll divide 2 and 2. But they're slightly more likely to be 3 and 1, actually. The weaker suit, Valerie, is the good question from Valerie and dummy. It's the one with the least honours, Valerie. So we had 3 little clubs in dummy, but diamonds were strong with the ace, queen, jack. Yeah, it's the suit with the lowest amount of picture cards. Good question from Valerie. Happy to help out. So we submit there. We're going to play trumps. Third player play high. We don't want to lose a cheap trick. They'd come back a club. Partners suit, but we can win with the king. Now play the jack of hearts. And we're relieved to see everyone following. And I believe it's easier, I'm sure you'll agree, well, you don't have to agree with me, just to count the opponent's trumps here. Well, whenever. So they had 4 trumps, and we've had 2 lots of 2. They've all gone. Right. Well, we might as well play the queen of clubs. It's a winner. And actually, the 5 of clubs is a lucky 13th winner as well. 13th club is a winner. Right. Well, a bit of pressure on now. We have lost 3 tricks. Always denoted like that when they lay down. To lose, when you win, they go like that. We can't afford to lose any tricks. We've got to make 10 tricks in 4 hearts. Always adding on 6, of course. Ooh, I'm going to try and remember to do the score as well. Just remember that. So we play the 3 of diamonds, Rosalind, but which one do we play from the dummy? Ace, queen, or jack? Can't afford to lose a trick. And is he slightly easier, this problem, because you can see the east and the west cards. It's difficult not to look at them. But definitely it's easier for the students to see all 4 hands. What do you think if you're watching in replay? Would you play the ace, the queen, or the jack here? Well, shall we have a little look? The problem is, if you make the mistake of playing the ace, it wins. But then we have to lose to the king always, don't we? And we're 1 down. Yeah, they've taken 4 tricks. Let's go back in time. By the way, when you're playing online, you're not allowed to undo the cards you played. Once you played a card, you played it. Clearly I am, because I'm in charge of all 4 hands today. But when you play online, just an etiquette thing, you're not allowed to ask for an undo. I mean, as a beginner, if you're playing in a beginner's group with fellow beginners, they might let you. But generally the answer is no. And actually, that reminds me, in a few weeks' time, 2 or 3 weeks' time, Bashir and I are going to let you know how you can play online on BBA with fellow students from this class. So that's going to be quite exciting. Yeah, no, we have to risk the queen or the jack here. What was the success of that jack of diamonds winning, do you think, in percentages? Don't have to be a mathematician to answer that question. So we've won the diamond. That's a massive relief. So 2 questions here. What are the odds? And anyone know what that technique is called in bridge? I know 1 or 2 of you have played before. I suspect you have. But we needed a bit of luck here, because if East had the king of diamonds, we'd be 1 down. It is known as a finesse, correct? We're going to look at finesses in a lesson at a later date. But you can start practicing your finesses now if you like. I mean, finesses are nearly always a good thing to do. A 50-50 play here was much better than a 0-100. If we'd have just played the ace of diamonds, almost certainly we'd have lost to the king, unless East had a singleton king, which is very unlikely. So finesses are good things to do in bridge, but we'll look at them more at a later date, because some people do find them quite tricky, especially when you're starting off. Right, now we can play the ace of diamonds. Well, whatever now. They're all winners. Ooh, I've just remembered to remember the score. I nearly forgot, actually. I am prone to forget. What is the score for 4 hearts just making non-vulnerable, denoted by white round the 1? Look, we're all on white, no red. 4 hearts game non-vulnerable. Remember to add on the game bonus. So 4 lots of hearts and spades are worth 30. So 4 lots of 30 is 120. Lots of good scores coming in. And it's 300 for the non-vulnerable game, isn't it? That's 420. If you're practicing your scoring in replay, well done if you got 420. Most of the chat box did. If you were vulnerable there, the score would be 620, because you get 500 for a vulnerable game bonus. But again, as I've said many times, scoring is done for you online and on the apps. Vulnerability, good question from Tim. He's asking, when do you become vulnerable? Tim, online, you take turns. So, for example, the first hand we play, no one's vulnerable. The second hand you play, the dealer is vulnerable. The third hand you play, the dealer is vulnerable. That would be the other side. And on the fourth hand you play, Tim, everyone's vulnerable. Okay, so it rotates on 1 to 4 hands. Then it goes back and starts again at hand 5. Good question from Tim. Right, let's go back to the classroom. Right, you've opened 1 diamond with your 12 points. I bid 1 heart as responder. Over to you now as South. What's your best bid there as opener? Do you bid again? Do you pass? Do you bid? If so, what? You got 5 diamonds and 4 spades. Busy morning for me tonight. Morning. At 11 o'clock, I've got my free promotional lesson. Not for beginners, for improvers, intermediates, on coping with intervention. So if you've got any bridge playing friends, there is still time to tell them. Still time for them to register after this lesson on the LBO website. 11 o'clock, free 1-hour lesson for improvers, intermediates. I'll put the link in. Well, we could bid. I think the most important thing is to bid again. Yeah. Never pass. No, you would never pass when partner changes the suit here, because they might have 6 points. North might have, they might have 26 points. Their points are undefined. So, but I prefer you, rather than putting all your eggs in one basket by bidding 2 diamonds, I'd much prefer you to bid 1 spade. Keep the conversation going and show your second suit. You never know, North might have 4 hearts and 4 spades, in which case you found a fit. All right? So better to bid 1 spade there, to give partner a choice. But remember, in bridge, when you bid a new suit, always guarantees 4 cards or more. Never, ever 3. Excellent, so 1 spade there. I've opened a diamond. 12 or more points. What do you, your best bid there? You got 14 points as responder. I hope you're enjoying this question and answer session. It's very instructive, I think. Hang on, 1 or 2 of you bidding 1 spade. Is that a typo? You've only got 2 spades. Have another go. What are you thinking if you're watching in replay? Yes, and it's exciting in a few weeks' time that we're going to get you actually playing bridge online with real other people, students from this class. The final contract, you're definitely going to end up in game in this hand because you got 14 marks, but there's no rush to bid 3 no trumps here. It's better to take things slowly. So as I say quite a lot, when I used to travel around Yorkshire teaching bridge, and on the bridge holidays I run as well, you just bid your longest suit at the lowest level. Okay, so just 1 heart. Then North will always bid again. Change of suit forces partner to bid again. Should we look how the bidding might go? So 1 diamond, you bid 1 heart. North must bid again. They bid 2 hearts because they found the fit. And South, with their 14 points, can now jump to game. Good. So that's how the bidding would play out here. Let's play our second hand on BBA. Why wouldn't North go to game? Good question from Joe. Just have a quick look at that. Joe's wondering why North would go. Because South, by bidding 1 heart, Joe, has only promised 6 points. Yeah, we'll just go, interesting to look at that. So that's why North just bids 2 hearts here, because South is only promising 6 points, Joe. If North had 19 points, or more, to go with the 6 that South has promised, that's 25, they would have bid 4 hearts. But for North to go to game, they need 19 or more points. Okay, just to make that clear. Let's go back to this next hand. I'm sure you're all going to open 1 no trump. 12 to 14, balanced. 11 points these. They could bid 2 hearts. They'd be allowed to bid 2 hearts, but I just wouldn't with 4 cards to the king, no. Very poor suit to start bidding at the 2 level, because they'd have to bid 2 hearts. Now, South, responder, 13 points. What would their best bid be after partners open 1 no trump? If you're watching in replay, what do you think? Try not to look at the North hand. We can't go 1 spade because 1 no trump is the highest bid. We'd have to go 2 spades, if anything. But can we think about fit? Yeah, do we have a fit? Knowing that North's a balanced hand. And secondly, once we know if there's a fit, have we got enough for game? Well, let's look at the first things first. The fit. We've definitely got a fit because North's got a balanced hand. They've got 2 spades or 3 spades or 4 spades Or on a really good day like today, they might even have 5 spades. But no, not today. So then we think, have we got enough points for game? Problem is, a few of you in the live chat have bid 2 spades. This is wrong. Because if you bid 2 spades, it's an automatic pass from North. They're in the bar. And you're languishing in 2 spades. All very well, you'll make it, but you've missed out on the party. You've missed the boat, should we say. Whoops, hello. So, not only have you got the fit here, but you know you've got enough points for game. You've got 13 opposite 12. So you can jump straight to 4 spades, which a number of you did in the chat box. Sorry, in the live chat box, yeah. Knowing, of course, that North won't bid again. You have to take the bull by the horns when partner opens 1-no trump. Actually, next week's lesson is responding to 1-no trump. So that's going to be an interesting one for you. Because it is quite hard, I think, when you start out. Good. 4 spades it is. What would the opening lead be, do you think? I think Victoria's got a question. Why not 3-no trumps? Victoria, basically, because you know you've got a fit in spades. And if you've got an 8-card fit in spades or hearts, it's safer to play in 4 hearts or 4 spades. Okay, good question there. So what would the opening lead be by West? Yes, and basically, Victoria, because South is unbalanced, you know, with their 6-card suit, but mainly because they know they've got the 8-card fit. They might have 9 or 10 cards in spades, Victoria too, which would be even better. Well, we should leave the lowest card from our longest suit. Longest and strongest, by the way. And the longest and strongest is the 2 of clubs. Right, well, thank you for the dummy. I'm just deciding whether to draw trumps or not. Noting that we've got 8 between us, and the opponents have got 5. Okay. Well, it's normally second player play low, but here we don't want to lose a trick unnecessarily, so we win with the ace. Good. We don't need to lose any tricks in clubs because we've only got 2 of them in our own hand. And we've got the ace, king, and dummy. Right, what do we do next, do you think, from the dummy? Do we draw trumps or something else? Just waiting for the answers to come in. Well, a number of different answers. Some want to play the king of clubs, some want to draw trumps, some want to play the queen of diamonds. Mixed bag. That's why online lessons are so good, because we can have this interaction. I would never be able to have this in a face-to-face class. No one would dare put up their hand in a class, live class, and face-to-face and give the wrong answer. I definitely recommend drawing trumps here. Thing is, it's not good to create a void in your own hand, all right? So those who play the king of clubs, we're not going to make extra tricks by trumping clubs in our own hand. You make extra tricks by trumping on the dummy. Again, that's a strategy we'll look at a later date. But it's a good habit to get into of not trumping or creating a void into Clara's hand. Because we're going to make those trumps anyway, those 6 spades, or most of them. We can't make them twice. Right, I'm counting the trumps. 2 have gone. 2 more have gone. That's 4. 1 trump left. Should we draw it out? Or not? Should we move on to something else? What do you think? If you're watching in replay, would you draw out that last trump? It's going to win. We know it's the queen. I've made a note. Yes or no? It's a simple question. Is there any point? It's going to make anyway. So is it worth sacrificing one of our trumps to draw out the queen when it's going to make anyway? The answer is no. And it's called the rule of one. Something we're going to, again, look at, I believe, in a few weeks' time. Called the rule of one. If there's one trump left and it's higher than yours, you leave it out. If it's lower than yours, draw it before you forget about it. Okay, good. So we're going to leave that queen of spades out there. We're not bothered by... Which card do we play next from Declarer? 10 to choose from? Which one is best, do you think? Well, the king of clubs isn't going to run away. I think we need to get the diamonds going. Most of you playing the seven of clubs, actually. No, that club isn't going to run away. What I'd like to do is get rid of the ace of diamonds here. But do you think we should start with the 4 or the jack? It's a choice. Which one do you think is best? Or don't you think it matters? And hope you're still enjoying practicing on Bridge Base Online against robots. I wouldn't definitely don't play against real people yet. You know, that would be a no-no, unless they're 3 fellow beginners. But we're going to get you going in 2 or 3 weeks' time on that. And you've got the Bridge app on the phone. And Fun Bridge is another good one. You might enjoy Fun Bridge. It's another app, very popular. I think it's free to start off with, then you pay. Fun Bridge. Yes, I think it's better to start with the jack. Well done, everyone. The higher card from the shorter holding. Good. Winning with the ace, as you would. And let's say they continue with partner suit, which was a club. Better put in the 10 there. And now do you see the beauty of having flushed out the ace of diamonds early doors? Because now the king and the queen are winners. So king of diamonds. East was best to win with the ace of diamonds, Rosalind, if that's what you're referring to. Queen of diamonds, noting the fall of the 10, by the way. I've been watching. The 9 of diamonds and the 10 of diamonds have now fallen. Then I've been playing bridge 40 years on and off, so it's easier for me to realize that. So the 8 of diamonds is a winner. East might choose to trump in. That's absolutely fine. I'm not bothered by that because we can just throw our losing jack of hearts. Okay, so they come back a heart. We can win with the ace. And, yeah, just play out our winning trumps. I mean, at this stage, I might normally claim, but I'm going to play the cards out. And I think it's good practice when you're beginning, definitely, to play the cards out to the bitter end, rather than claiming. Claiming can be a bit controversial. And a trump there. Ooh, I've just paused in time. What are we going to make for 4 spades vulnerable? As you can see, Tim, it's North-South's turn to be vulnerable. Third hand would probably be East-West. But what do we make for 4 spades vulnerable? Oh, with the Nova trick, +1. So we're going to make 11 tricks here. If you're watching in replay, you're going to have a go at scoring too. For those who don't score, that's absolutely fine. It's going to be 650, yes. It says 450 there, but it means to say 650 because we're vulnerable. 500 for the vulnerable game and 30 for the over trick. Okay, 650. Good. Some useful points in that hand, weren't there? I think certainly one was drawing trumps first, not creating a void in declarer's hand. We generally create a void in dummy. Again, that's a lesson at a later date. No, it won't help us to make extra tricks by creating a void in declarer's hand. And yeah, also leaving the queen of spades out there, the rule of one, as it's known. Didn't make too much difference on this hand, but could do on other hands. And finally, flushing out that ace of diamonds early on meant that we could get rid of those losing hearts to make an over trick. Back to the classroom. You've opened one no trump. 14 points. I bid 2 spades as north. What next for you as south? Opener, if anything. Here's the clue. Yes, you're all in the bar, Joe. What are you having? A glass of Pinot Grigio, Joe and Angela? Glass of Merlot. I'll probably go for the red. Oh, coffee for Joe. Oh, okay. I'm on decaf latte, Joe. One shot if you want to buy me a coffee. Yes, you're passing. You're in the bar. More about this next week when we look at responding to one no trump. But yes, you would pass. You would always pass there if you're a beginner or expert and anyone in between. North has chosen to play in 2 spades. By the way, they will always have a 5-card suit or more to bid like that. Always have at least 5. Never 4 cards to bid opposite one no trump. But again, more on that next week. Okay, so we're going to finish with a final hand on BBO number 3. Let's pay that a visit. Doing well, actually. We only started playing 2 hands when we first started 6-7 weeks ago. Now we play 3 hands. In time, we'll play 4 hands when we get a bit quicker, like the improvers intermediates do. Only 11 points, so East has to pass. 15 points from South. What's their best bid? Valerie's first up. If you're watching in replay, what do you open with a 15-point South hand? Good. So one thing we shouldn't do is open one no trump. That's only 12 to 14 points. So we open one heart. And actually, it's a good habit to get into at this early stage. If you've got 4 hearts and 4 clubs, to open the major suit first. All right, just a little tip for you. Something we'll look at in a few lessons' time. But yes, if you've got a 4-card major and a 4-card minor, the major comes first, regardless of strength. It's just so important to bid the major before the minor for obvious reasons. North, what do they bid, if anything? 9 points? 10 points, sorry. 10 points. Known as responder. Yeah, as I say quite a lot when I teach, just bid the longest suit at the lowest level, which is 1 spade. Slightly harder. What South's rebid do you think with 15? If anything. What's their rebid? Their second bid, known as the rebid, the second bid. The clue is balanced. Has South got a balanced hand? That is the clue. I think the most important thing is that you cannot pass. No, you would never pass here, because one spade could be 6 points. By North, it could be 26. Some of you jumping to 3 no trumps. That's ambitious. Partner might only have 6 points, and you've only got 15. So I admire your ambition. Why can't we just bid 1 no trump? Okay, showing in the range of 15 to 19 points. Again, we're going to look at the no trump rebid in a specific lesson in a few weeks' time. But no, just keep the bidding nice and low. So this must show 15 to 19. A dustbin bid, Joe, we haven't covered yet, but that's only for responder. Yeah, just to answer your question. The dustbin bid is only used as responder, not opener. But we'll be covering that at a later date, the dustbin bid. So it's 15 to 19. Crucially, it won't be 12 to 14, will it? Why can't it be 12 to 14 as South? Well, because if you're 12 to 14, you'd have opened 1 no trump. So in bridge, when you open with one of your suit and then bid no trumps, it's a strong hand, 15 to 19. Yeah, but we're going to look at that. Some of you might find that a bit tricky. We're going to look at that in detail later. Now, what does North do with their 10 points? What does North do? Have they got enough for game? Is the $1 million question. Well, partner showing 15 or more. North has 10. That's 25 points at least. Well done if you jump to 3 no trumps there. Oh, hi, Margaret. Hi, Angela. Yeah, Carrie. Good. And the opening lead from West. Remember, South is declared because they bid the no trump first. What would be the opening lead? Always good to practice the opening lead. We do specific lessons on opening lead. Very important card. Yeah, just the lowest card from longest suit. Relatively easy, leading to no trumps. Right, well, thanks, partner, for the dummy. We should be counting certain tricks before we play. So this is thinking time. How many certain tricks have we got? Looking at each suit in turn. So that's the next question. Yeah, we haven't got very many. We've only got 3, Stuart. Yes, Michelle. We've got the ace, king, queen of spades. Yeah. Oh dear, we've got quite a lot of hard work to do. We've got to try and get 9 tricks here. But plenty of potential, isn't there? So I've made a plan. So it's a 3-stage plan, isn't it? No trumps. Count the certain tricks, look for the extras, and then we'll talk about the 3rd stage in just a second. Second player play low. Ooh, we're going to win a cheap trick with the 8, aren't we? That's fine. Right. We're in dummy with the 8 of diamonds. It won't let me play from hand. It'll only let you play from dummy, because that's where we won the last trick. Which suit or which card should we play from the dummy, do you think? Spade, heart, club, or diamond. This is linked in with the third stage of our master plan. So we've done stage 1, counting the 7 tricks. We've done stage 2, well, I have anyway, looking for extras. Third stage of the plan, it's the most important, is to go for the extras first. The worst thing you could do on this hand would be to play out the ace, king, queen of spades now. Jane from Mia. Have I got the wrong lesson? Jane, I can answer that question. This is beginners lesson 7. Improvers is at 11 this morning. That might help Jane on her way. 11 o'clock this morning is the improvers, Jane, on coping with intervention. Yes, well done, everyone. The hearts are really, look at the potential in hearts. No certain tricks in hearts, but once the ace is gone, we're going to make 3 extra tricks. Okay, so lots of potential in hearts. Playing like a tortoise, not the hare. Third player, play high. Okay, well, that's really good news because we've lost 1 and we're going to win 3. That's what Jeremy Clarkson couldn't understand. Oh, I will just put a link to I've got a website called yorkshirebridge.co.uk, and on that link is the article from Jeremy Clarkson about learning bridge and scoring and how he didn't get on with it. I will give that to you in just a second. After this question, which is, what does East play back having won the ace of hearts? A spade, a heart, a club, or a diamond? I'll just get you that link whilst I'm on the case. I will, Margaret. Yes, first of all, there's the link to the Jeremy Clarkson article. My website is yorkshirebridge.co.uk/about. Is there anything else on there as well? Oh yes, you can listen to, if you really want to, my 5-minute chat on York Radio about online bridge, and you can read an article in the Sunday Times about online bridge as well, if you want to. It's optional. You can also look at the wonderful bridge holidays I run. I'm not going to mention those at the moment. I just have, but I'm not going to mention them in detail. But hopefully one day you'll come on one of my bridge holidays. Right. Well, it's a really good idea to return partner suit. So we should play a diamond. I know clubs are the weakest suit, but it's always good to return partner suit in no trumps. It keeps them in a good mood. It really does keep them in a good mood. I can tell you from experience. They get a bit hot under the collar if you don't return their suit. Because after all, that's their long suit, you see. They've led from a 4-card suit. It might be a 5-card suit. It could be a 6-card suit. They're trying to develop what we call length winners. What does West do next, having won the ace of diamonds? I'm just going to find that link from Margaret and others. And Margaret, there's the link for today's free lesson at 11 o'clock. There's still time for your bridge playing friends to register for a 1-hour free lesson. Just register for free and they'll be invited to the class via email. learnbridgeonline.com/Jack. That's for those improvers and intermediates. Well, I think we should do a lose to win, everyone. Because even though we know it's going to lose to the king, if either East or West get back in again, the 10 of diamonds or the 5 of diamonds is a winner. So defenders do lose to win as well in no trumps. Yeah, always going to make that king of diamonds. You haven't given anything away. So I think the tactic we're looking at in no trumps is very much for defenders to keep plugging away at the same suit. It really helps declarer if you switch to another suit. But keep plugging away at the diamonds. It's really look at it as a kind of tortoise versus tortoise race. Right. Now, how are we doing? We're doing fine. I think we should take our heart winners before we forget about them. The Jack of Hearts. Going to keep these spades, by the way. Don't throw these spades. They might be useful, those 4 spades. We'll throw a club. Right. Well, West has thrown a couple of spades. We need 4 more tricks. Keep an eye on the tally to the left here where it says 3 no trump south. But that's the last trick if you ever want it. You can bring up the bidding, by the way, on BBO. Just click on 3 NT south. It brings up the bidding if you've forgotten it. But we need 4 more tricks. I can only see 3. So I can take this heavily. I think we should play a spade now. Higher card from the short holding. That's why I'm playing the ace of spades first. Club can go. Queen of spades. Oh, something interesting's happened here. What do we play next from the dummy? I'm trying to remember to keep the score for you as well. Yes, it might be worth the odd email to your bridge playing friends just to see if they're around at 11 o'clock for the free lesson. Register anyway if you're non-bridge playing, sorry, if you're bridge playing friends, because if they can't make it at 11 this morning, it's available anytime during the rest of the week, and next week they can watch it in replay once they've registered for free. Just name and email is all they need, and then they're in the system. Right, well, the 7 of spades, everyone. It's much easier to see when you can see all 4 hands laid up. Not so easy when, you know, East and West have got their cards hidden. The 7 of spades is what we call a length winner. That will take our tally up to 9. Happy days. The opponents will make the last 2 tricks, but we have made our contract 9 tricks. That's great. What is the score going to be for 3 no trumps? Just made 9 tricks. Non-vulnerable, because we're in white, aren't we, against red. 3 no tricks, non-vulnerable. 3 no tricks, 3 no trumps. Next week, as I say, we're doing responding to 1 no trump, a really important lesson. Comes up quite a lot. Well done with your scoring. Scores on the doors. So 3 no trumps is 40 plus 30 plus 30. That's 100 for 3 no trumps. And then the game bonus is 300 to take you up to 400. Okay. I have a feeling it's going to say 600 here, but maybe it won't. No, they're saying 400. Okay. Tim's got a question. Any tips on keeping track of cards? So you know about length winners. Not really, Tim. There's only one tip I can give you. Play more bridge. Yeah. Honestly, the more bridge you play, you'd imagine, you know, when you played a no trump contract 100 times, you're so much more confident than having played it 2 or 3. Yeah, but just practice. I can't think of any other tips, really. That's why bridge is so good for keeping the brain active as well. If you want to be especially if you want to be a top player or a reasonable player. But you can play bridge on so many different levels, which is one of the attractions of it. But one thing I do, Tim, I've got a little tip, Tim. Hang on, just whilst you're there. So if I had 7 cards between me and dummy, I would just say to myself how many the opponent's got. So they've got 6. So I'd say to myself, let's hope they divide 3 and 3. So that is a little tip there. Yeah. So count the cards you've got between you. So in spades, we've got 7. We know the opponents have got 6. We're hoping they divide 3, 3. And you only need to count 1 suit in bridge. The opponent, the world champion or championess will be counting all 4 probably. But you don't need to do that. Right, let's go back to the classroom just to remember 3 important things. From today's lesson, once you've opened 1 no trump, you go to the bar. You're good on that now. Secondly, first priority is to support partner suit with 4 cards and 6 or more points, as you found the fit. So we're concentrating on that now from last week's lesson. And finally, bid to game when you've got the fit and 25 points or more. Well, that's good timing. It's 10:29 UK time.
Hello. It was
So
great.
that was fun.
It was always a good it's a good opportunity to refresh, but you've got the scoring, 25 points. That's really important to remember, isn't it? It took me a while to just kind of remember that I needed to keep in mind the scores that I was aiming for. I was sort of focused on all the counting,
Yes.
but then knowing that it's 25 is really important.
Really important, Caroline. But I'm impressed how the students are coming on. Most of the answers they were getting right. They're not bidding again when they've opened one no trump. They're bidding to game with 25 points. They've really got the basics going. So moving forward, I think this is going to be an intelligent class, don't you?
Absolutely. So what have you got in store for us for the next lesson?
Well, very exciting. Responding to one no trump.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So as I often say when I teach this lesson, Caroline, the rule book. Where is the rule book? Hang on. Here's a rule book. It goes out.
It goes out
at the window.
I know.
Yeah. They went
No
window.
Trump's
Yeah.
No Trump's its own little world, isn't it?
Yeah. One no Trump responding to it is it's quite tricky, but I think the students are on good track, so I think they'll be fine with that one. And of course, I've given them a useful link to my website so they can look at the Jeremy Clarkson article.
The Jeremy Clarkson, yeah. I think I will have to go and have a good read.
You should have a look at that, Caroline. Yeah, it's fun. Well, I thought it was funny. Doesn't mean that everyone's going to find it funny, but especially being a bridge teacher,
yes.
it gelled in my head.
He's a local to you, isn't he?
Yes, actually, my family know him. He used to live like a few miles from my parents in the bottom of North Yorkshire. A little village called Berg Wallace, and they knew his parents. And funnily enough, this is quite topical. His parents were called Eddie and Shirley, and they had the license to make Paddington Bear.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
So they had the license from what's his name, Michael Bond, who created Paddington Bear, to make the Paddington Bear toys.
Oh wow! You know people in high places.
Well, one or two, but then. If you look in our attic in my parents' house, I think somewhere, Caroline, it is a Paddington Bear doll. It's about that big.
Really?
Yeah.
How long have they had it for? Is it
well, that would have been there about 40 years, so it might be a bit doggier than moth-eaten by now.
Make sure they don't throw it out.
I think I should find it there. It might be worth a few quid.
Absolutely.
With the latest, we've just had the latest Paddington movie over here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which, funny enough, I went to see with my son on Monday, it was fun actually. I enjoyed it.
Oh, lovely.
Right, well, listen, I'm busy because I've got this free promotional lesson at 11. So I think we could have possibly a few hundred people, watching live, Caroline.
Goodness gracious. Well, it wouldn't be the first time because you're a fantastic teacher, and when you give them for free, I'm sure everybody will come. Well,
there are quite a few, and obviously, people do like a freebie. So we do this once or twice a year just as a promotional event. So and I might even go and get changed, I think. I'm going to put a shirt on, a jacket on.
Oh, okay. Well, we will let you go and smarten up. But thank you again for a fantastic, refreshing lesson. And we will see you next week for one No Trump responses.
Correct. And thank you, everyone, for all your thank yous. Too many of the class. But it's always nice to have feedback. A number of them have said how much they enjoyed the lesson. So I do appreciate that. And I'm sure you're giving me a virtual thank you as those who are watching in replay as well. Do remember, you can, just one final thing, do remember those who watch live or in replay, they can use the posting facility on Bajir's website, Caroline. So it's like a posting page, it's like a forum. They just ask me a question and I'll answer it back.
Absolutely. The online class page. Yeah, absolutely. Leave questions for Jack there. It's really.
I'm not sure if anyone's used it so far for the beginners, but certainly if they've got a query, I'm absolutely fine to ask the odd question.
Absolutely. All right. Well, we will see you all next week. Thank you again for joining us. And thank you, Jack. Goodbye, Jack's mum. We will see you next week.
Yes. Bye, Jack's mum. She's away this week. Yeah. Bye, Stuart. Bye, Rosalind.